Now, back to Robert Klein.
Hey, we're back. It was an excellent commercial. Thank you. We're speaking here with Rodney Dangerfield, Phil Lynott, and Snowy White from Thin Lizzy. Rodney Dangerfield is not in Thin Lizzy, but...
Sort of Fat Albert, that's what I...
These names are incredible, of course, aren't they?
Well, somebody once said, what's the name, right?
Right. Who said that, too? Shakespeare.
Rocky Graziano, wasn't it? I'm not sure who said that. You know?
It was Shakespeare. You have a published book of poetry, Phil?
Yeah, 3.
3?
Yeah.
Marvelous. And are any of the lyrics from the tunes, or is it totally separate?
Yeah, some of them are lyrics in readable form without the ooh babies and the ah babies. And
yeah. Is this... without them, you say?
Yeah.
Without the ooh babies and the ah babies and the rock and roll part. What is it that what kind of thing drives a poet? That's something I could never understand, except roses are red, violets are blue, and a few other like word pictures and things that impressed me. Did you read poetry early and get into it that way?
No, in school I detested poetry. I found the first thing to inspire me was like I was blown out by a chick. So I thought the world should know about this, you know.
Hey, you're on radio here. Take it easy.
Means he was in love.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
He was in love.
Turn of phrase.
Could have been a guy. Could have been worse. You know what I
mean? In other words, not unlike Bill Shakespeare, love was the first thing that...
No, that's what started me off, anyway. And then I found it was like therapy. No, I found it was better than a diary to write down my thoughts and my beliefs and figments of my imagination. And I find it good for me just to express myself as any
You hit
artist.
the word there, therapy. You get a sort of release, huh?
Yeah.
We often talk about critics here, and it's curious to see whether the performers read the stuff or not and all, but there's a song called Do Anything You Want To that Phil wrote. And there's people who investigate you, insinuate, intimidate, and complicate you. Do you read these things, and do they mean anything to you, Phil?
Yeah, I read what the critics write, and then get rid of it, you know.
Well, do you think, good or bad, there's merit to what they... Are there some people who know...
It depends on the integrity of the critic, you know, or if I agree with them or not.
Yes.
But most of the time, I think the standard of journalism is dropped. And I think a lot of critics don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, they've never played the music and they've never participated, and they write about it.
Well, sometimes, say you might get a review that's a complimentary review, and you need the dictionary to understand what the guy is saying about a song that was very simple, or vice versa. He might say something wrong about the band and totally misinterpret a song, you know.
Well, don't you think that maybe it's a credit to your composition if someone sees something so complicated and good in something so simple?
No, because, I mean, the art form I'm working in is trying to put across what's in my head onto a piece of plastic so it'll get into somebody else's head and they get the same message. And when it gets warped, then I get a bit confused.
Don't speak so loud because you're busting our eardrums.
Sorry.
Got a real controversial, Do Anything You Want To. I thought it was one of those permissive songs. Freak out! Do it! But it isn't. It's interesting. It's to do anything you want to creatively.
There's so few new bands allowed to get through the American record company system, you know, like in England.
Let's hear about that, because the radio situation in Europe and England is different than here.
Yeah, I mean, it's crap. The radio in Europe is crap, but at least they know it's crap.
He's a poet?
You know.
Well, Rodney, once in a while a good vernacular word explains it better than a large word.
Not what it's supposed to be real, you know.
How does that work, that it doesn't work as well for artists?
Well, because
in
everybody knows that the radio is bad in Europe.
How is it
Nobody
bad,
listens to it. They play dreadful records, you know. They have bad programs.
Well, the mothers of the people they play probably think it's great, don't they? You mean to say that No, I don't quite understand that.
Well,
Don't they-
you see, it's supposed to be rock and roll
Yeah.
stations, right? And they don't play rock and roll. They play dream music.
Dream, did you say?
And because
Could you further define dream music?
well, I don't want to slag anybody in particular, but I will.
Go right ahead.
They said I wouldn't class Helen Reddy as rock and roll. You say?
Oh, no, we're supposed to try to make that controversial. No, I
but
understand what you mean.
wouldn't. Sorry.
But aren't there places that Thin Lizzy is a huge star?
We don't get played on the radio that much.
You don't
really.
get played on the radio. The radio doesn't do
unless
it
we
for
go
you,
into the charts. So there's alternative ways to do it. And if you can't get signed to a record company, then you invent your own record company. And out of that has come a lot of good music, you know. Like a lot of that, the new music that came from me, a lot of it is bad. But some of it, you know, there's been some good artists that have come out of the new music just by setting up record companies and doing things in an original way, as opposed to going through the set established way.
So in general, radio in the States is far more helpful to those artists that have played.
In general, but recently, like, it's getting more and more controlled. I mean, you get things like playlists, and this program will be interrupted by advertisements, which is needed, I suppose, to keep the radio station going.
Yeah.
But, like, in the end, it interrupts the music.
But you're saying a guy somewhere in an office is programming it now. You know, some of these
Yeah.
stations are going on computer now, where the,
Yeah, I've
where
seen
the
that
jocks
too.
don't even have that much freedom, even on so-called progressive stations.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
and if the guy doesn't have the kind of taste you're interested in, it doesn't happen for you. Right?
Yeah.
But it
Change
sells
that
more
down.
records that way, huh?
Yeah.
You've been in an outfit for 10 years, haven't you? Been
Well, it's 9, but they're trying to make it 10.
you will. I'm
Yeah.
sure you'll make it 25.
Yes, hope.
And hey, I want to thank you all very
Cheers,
much
thanks.
for having come. And it's
Do I get
wonderful.
paid now?
See the paymaster. There's a guy back there with the case of beer. Thank you very much, Snowy and Phil. I wish you good luck on this tour and keep healthy. And for your whole band, Thin Lizzy. And I want to thank Keith Sykes for the wonderful live performance in his new album, which is called I'm Not Strange, I'm Just Like You. And Rodney, what can I say?
See you on location.
See you on location. Caddyshack, the movie, No Respect, the album. There'll be more albums, more movies.
Vinny's Boom Boom Room, Newark.
Vinny's Boom Boom Room in Newark in February.
Dominic's
Keep
Black
tuned.
and Blue Room in Trenton.
Vito's, formerly Nunzio's, formerly...
That's right. Fonzo's Knuckle Room, don't forget that one too, you know.
That was a tough place, that Nunzio's.
And Tulio's Piano Bar.
You'll be appearing at all those quality clubs, which feature making your own salad,
As soon as I heal up.
as soon as you heal up. Thank you all very much, studio audience out there in America. See you next week. Good night.